It's Friday, which means one thing. When it's Friday, it's fuck off Friday. I think that needs to be sung by a llama. I don't know why, I just feel it does. It needs to be sung by a llama. How are we all? A llama Morissette. Hey, how's Hazel Malbon? Karen Edwards from Swansea, warming up already here in Swansea. Green shoots of hope. It's not going to be as hot today. Okay, let's start with a poll. Who thinks they've, whoever they are, got hysterical about the weather? I'm not necessarily saying I do, but I want to know if you think they've got hysterical about the weather. Are they overreacting? Are they going for worst case scenario? Is it all a little bit too over the top? Or is there real concern? Because I heard a cabinet minister on the radio yesterday as I was dashing to a meeting, and they said that they have a genuine fear that it's going to hit 40 degrees. I kid you not. Oh, look, 67% of you, only a couple of you said it's raining here in Scotland, says Laura Lawler. You've got to give it to Scotland. Always bucks the trend, doesn't it? Double Greek coffee in the Christos household. Quadruple stuff in the Adderley household. Claire Ross Reed, morning gorgeous. I'm so pleased. Mwah. There you go, my darling. It's been raining here, I think you said in California, Stuart G, in Cumbria. Leo Vipula, no, there's definitely concern. It's not meant to be that hot in the UK. Thank you, Leo. I'm not even talking about from a personal perspective necessarily. I think we're forgetting in our sort of fears around hosepipe bans and our genuine and understandable concern for the welfare of youngsters and older people. I think we're also within it forgetting that when did it become normal for us to even consider the number 40 degrees centigrade? Jan, raining in the northeast. Apparently the danger is that if it stays hot at night, it creates a sort of oven-like sort of process, doesn't it, where we cook even more and then the next day it gets even more. Sharon has avoided the hysterics about weather. Well, hysterics would be different to hysteria, wouldn't it? 1976 with standpipes. There you are, Faith. Looking forward to quiz of the week. Christos, Monday, Tuesday will hit close to 40s. Is this standard fare for Europeans? Is this standard fare for Mediterraneans? Is this just like, come on, guys, get real, have a siesta? Or should this be a cause for concern? Hi, Myra Instance. I did some gardening today and was thinking of you and Nanny Di. I hope you were. I'm sure you weren't thinking of any advice we were giving. We were just whittering on and wandering about. Milk Honey. Hi, Mark. Long time no see. I'm working at a residential summer school. It's not here in the countryside, but I don't think it's as bad as in London. Yeah, well, yeah, it's getting really hot in London. It's going to get really hot. Well, obviously, cities are always 1 or 2 or 3 sometimes degrees hotter, often more humid. So yeah, London is a bit of an issue. Yeah, the NHS is obviously bracing. There was a story yesterday that we were going to talk about how nurses were being asked not to, or told not to drink water and forced to wear masks. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, and also, you know, apparently the number of people in hospitals with COVID has gone up by 50%. Is that correct? Did I believe that? I read it in The Independent, up to something like 13,000. So, you know, there are certain circumstances and conditions in which you want people to be careful. People need to be careful because you don't want to put more pressure on the health service. Nicole, Marcella, they do need to stay hydrated. Transplanting my corn today. Better late than never, good ship lollipop. That makes you sound like a farmer. I've got visions of you with an enormous combine harvester moving it from one field to another. But I'm guessing you're talking about the little pit seeds. 1976, Dennis Howell was the rain minister, Anne Murray. There was a rain minister. Wow, keep our furry friends nice and cool. Yeah, if you didn't see yesterday's coffee moaning, we had a list of 8 top or 7 or 6 top tips on how to help your dogs. Have more than one bowl of water in your house, and don't put it in places where they have to walk too far. And you know, perhaps if your dog has thick coats and you do get them groomed now. Hi Mark, long time no. Oh, sorry, I said that. Milk honey. Hope you are. What are you saying up here? Do you think they've got hysterical? 60% say yes, 40% say no. No heatwave for Scotland, says something sweet, something savoury. We've had a few warm days, but nothing like England. And I love you too, Jacqueline. Ivana Trump. It's Ivana, isn't it? Not Ivanka. That's his daughter. Ivana Trump sadly passed away. Donald Trump's former wife. Sorry, I just got a text. No, that was sad to see. And also Donald Trump, I was reading an interview with Donald Trump today, he I think after the midterm elections, I think he is going to declare his candidacy. I think he is going to run for president. So the NHS is bracing for a sort of the consequences of a heat wave. So I suppose what it necessitates is people just being sensible. Can we do sensible? Can we? Got a text. Can everyone get around the fire pit? Got a text. Morning, Zoe. Got a text. I have to say, I'm intrigued with where Love Island was left last night. Obviously, Nadia's going to be at a pool party all of her own tonight. She's going to be dancing. She's going to be carousing. She's going to be cavorting. She's going to be potentially diving, maybe dive bombing. Chloe Williams, can everyone send Chloe Williams a huge hug? Chloe Williams, it's been a while since I joined, been in a bad place lately after splitting up after a long-term relationship, so just about building myself back up. Big hugs to you, Chloe, welcome back, take it easy. And as Linda Tyler says, try and have as happy feckety-feck Friday as you possibly can, or if you're not, just say, hashtag fuck off Friday. Sometimes you've got to take Friday by the scruff of the neck and you've got to go, just go, get out of my face with your cheery, chappy, chirpy chat. I don't want it. I don't want it. Nads has the best, she does have the best social life. She has the kind of social life I would dread. But it's so appropriate for her. So yeah, no, she's gonna have great fun tonight. Meanwhile, we're all gonna be watching Love Island and doing strange shit like, I don't know, smoking crack. I think that's what we might do tonight. Because that's what we do, because we're so irresponsible. Big hugs to Chloe. Sarah Fox, postman has just delivered my card from the live the other week. Thank you both so much, Sarah Fox, yay! Things can only get better, says Nicole Marcella for Chloe. Lots of people giving hugs there. Aaron Bullimore, climate change is a bitch. Can't get hysterical when I've spent my entire childhood being told this will get worse and then watching it get worse. You know what? You're not wrong. And I feel for youngsters who, you know, what were those people on the motorway protesting about? Not that really they're protesting. I mean, my worry is that we're, Big Macs all around folk. My worry is that we're in too far. I don't know what we can do. I think we're so in too far. Apparently, there were temperatures in the Arctic Circle of about 30 to 40 degrees. I mean, what? Intriguing. And obviously, as weather impacts on poorer parts of the world, that drives migration. That's why people go to desperate measures to get to other countries. So, yeah. So anyway, heat waves, Minky Moo, we're not even going to touch upon the Tory race. The Tory race, no. Other than, who do you want? Penny Mordaunt or Rishi Sunak? Who would you go for? In fact, I'm going to do a poll on that. Let's end it. Even if you're not a Tory voter, who do you want? Would you rather have? Or would you rather have Truss? Who as next PM? Sorry, Minky. Rishi, Penny, let's add another one. Truss. Of those three, who would you go for? You brought it into the room, I'm afraid, so I wasn't going to go there. It's not even on my tabs of stories to talk about. None of the above. Anyone by trust. I think that's a typo. Melanie, no, I know what you mean. Oh look, 0 for Truss, 56 for Penny. Apparently Penny is the favourite, isn't she, within the Conservative grassroots. I always love that, the grassroots. Don't you want to be down at the grassroots? I always think the grassroots sound really interesting. It sounds far more fascinating down there. What's going on at the grassroots? At the grassroots, it's this that's popular. Yeah, we like that. Or is it the grassroots? Right there, Cheech? Chi-Chi? Right, darling? Oh, yeah, no. Nadia for PM Junior Progress should be great. There would be compassion. Oh, look, let's have lots of Penny 56, Rishi, oh, I'll put Rich, sorry, Richie, 42, Truss. Oh, some of you there going for Truss. We've got some Boris backers. That's good, that's all good. It's a broad church, it's a broad church. The seagull in my garden, says Minky Moo, would be a better PM. Seagulls are quite sophisticated beasts, they really are. I saw one the other day using an iPhone. It was astonishing. It was taking a selfie next to a pier, and it was using the wide-angle lens. It's quite something. Christos makes a good point. Someone who'll eventually help the country rather than as a priority, rather than the party. I agree. Okay, so why do you think men have shorter lifespans than women? Why do you think? I have someone visiting this morning, so if they visit early, I will have to go and ask them to wait, because I've said I have this, I am doing this with you, so if I have to rush off and tell someone to just wait in their car, then I will. Why do you think hearts are bigger? Good ship lollipop, so what sort of takes more energy, so they're more exhausted? It's all in the genes, says Anne Murray. Stephen the Seagull, Christos, absolutely, don't mess with him. Stress, Ellie Denning. I think a lot of mums and women would say they're more stressed than men. Well, recent research suggests that scientists have found the answer. They say that particularly past age 60, men die more rapidly than women. It's as if they biologically age more quickly. It's to do with the good old-fashioned X and Y chromosome. And research is suggesting that due to the loss of the Y chromosome, it can cause the heart muscle to scar. So men have obviously an X and a Y chromosome, and the Y chromosome can deteriorate across time even more. And so even the nature of the Y chromosome is that you have a sort of weaker heart and weaker cell structure. So this new research gives clues as to why men have shorter lifespans. Women have two X chromosomes, men have an X and a Y chromosome, and it's to do with the degeneration or the loss of the Y chromosome across life, which happens more quickly. Many men begin to lose their Y chromosome in a fraction of cells, something which appears to be particularly true for smokers. So if you're a smoking man, stop, because you are doing everything and ticking every box, and that Y chromosome is going yabbity dabbity do. You're making it easy for me to do. So the importance of this is that they if they can target why the Y chromosome degenerates quicker, they can potentially do stuff to kind of make it degenerate less quickly. So it's going back to that. You remember that old idea that certainly in my mum's feminist meetings in the 70s, they'd say, "Oh, men are the weakest link. Men are the weakest link because we're double X and you're XY, and you miss that little leg off the X, so you become a Y." It seems like it's true. It means that when we get over 60, we really feel the lack of the Y. You know, the Y really starts to kind of pull us down. And that's why men don't live as long, basically. But another research, there's been more research today. The Y chromosome would disappear eventually. Interestingly, men with an extra X chromosome seem to live longer, XXY. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, imagine men just eventually just going. But there's been another scientific peer group report. Now this is a weird one. This report suggests, you're not going to believe this. So you know does anyone know what are the standard units? I mean, I don't know anymore because I don't drink. What are the units recommended for men and women by the National Health Service? What are the daily versus weekly units that are recommended for men and women? Does anyone know? Come on, guys, this is where I need you. I need you for these kind of facts. Just to say, Penny Mordaunt narrowly winning in our grassroots here. I'm just going to end that poll. 14 a week, says Anne Murray. Okay. Good ship lollipop, come on, we all know the X and Y don't matter these days. You see, this is the thing though, this is the thing. Whilst you may feel biologically and gender, in terms of gender identity, fluid, I suppose you can't argue with whatever you see underneath a microscope, can you, in terms of X and Y? I suppose it becomes a sort of, there is a biological determinism of sorts at some point. 1 to 2 units a week, Ross. Well, look, a new report has suggested that men under 40 shouldn't have more than, guess how much a day? Guess how much this new report suggests men under 40 shouldn't have more than. So what should you limit yourself to per day? Do you want to know? A shot glass of beer. A shot glass of beer. So researchers have called for even stronger guidance to warn younger adults of the health dangers posed by drinking. Apparently, the same research says, and we reported this a while back, that for people aged over 40, a drink or two, listen to that, a drink or two can actually help ward off disease, strokes, and diabetes. I guess there's some aspect in that which is a little bit like drinking coffee. It's always dangerous to say that when you've got people who, you know, struggle with alcohol. Women aged 39 and under can have a little more than a shot of beer. Women aged 39 and under, the recommended suggested amount would be, that is interesting, Erin. Please read Erin's point. Male genes, another interesting fact, you don't need a Y chromosome to be assigned male. There you go. Women aged 39 and under can have a little more, 2 tablespoons of wine. Can you imagine pouring yourself a tablespoon of wine? 2 tablespoons of wine or 100 millilitres of beer a day. That really is hashtag fuck off Friday, isn't it? Imagine your Friday night. Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna have my first tablespoon of, I'm really gonna cane it tonight. I'm gonna have at least 4. Everything in moderation. For over 65s, the report says, the risks, all the major news gatherers today, Sky News, everyone is running with this story. It's kind of like, it might be a fact, but who the fuck is going to listen to this? I mean, what young group of, you know, able-bodied youngsters are going to go, do you know what, this weekend, I'm going to have a thimble of beer. For over 65s, the risks of health loss from alcohol consumption are only reached after the 4th standard unit of drink. So the older you get, the more you can have. Kind of chimes with a report that came out a few months ago. They say that alcohol provides 0 health benefit in people aged under 40 and poses risks including injuries relating to drinking or car accidents, suicides and murders. So mental health. Senior author, this is at the University of Washington School of Medicine, says, our message is simple. Young people should not drink, but older people may benefit from drinking small amounts. Emma does life. I'm so sick of people telling us what to do. Yeah, I mean, I bet Dr. Emanuela Gekidou, I bet she had a few pints when she was at uni. Look, and I'm a teetotaler, and I'm a big believer that you should drink in moderation. You should drink sensibly. I think alcohol is a scourge. I think it causes so many more problems than we admit. But I think you have to be realistic. And I think reports like this will, in the end, actually, I think reports like this will people will just tear it up and throw it away and won't even listen to the medical advice because it's so ludicrous. It's so ludicrous to suggest that they shouldn't drink anything at all. Britons are turning to ice cream and canned cocktails in the face of the amber heat warnings. I thought this was sort of more fun. And something that's interesting, though, I didn't realise in London, if there's anyone in London, there's an app you can download called is it called Refill? The Refill app? Let me just have a look. The Refill app's map shows you hundreds of public water fountains available in the centre of London. And a couple of other stores or companies, Costa Coffee, Greggs and Morrison's, have signed up to offer free drinking water. This is important. I read a story the other day about 1554 and how soldiers had to guard water fountains and stuff like that. Linda Tyler, one shot of beer is not worth opening a can for. Entirely agree. Although you could make it last all week, couldn't you? So yeah, so there are, there's a real concern that if you're out and about, if you're a tourist, if you're visiting somewhere, where do you get your water? You don't want to pay stratospheric prices in central London where they'll charge anything up to £5 for a bottle of water, still water. So it's good to know that Costa, Coffee, Greggs and Morrison's, and if you download, as I say, the Refill app, it will be able to steer you towards free water. I think in this cost of living crisis, it's kind of crucial that it's free as well as it's available. Sorry. But what I love about weather is human habit, don't you? The way in which we start to consume and buy certain things. It's so funny. So sales of paddling pools, not surprisingly, and fans have gone through the roof. Tesco have said that it sold 14 times more paddling pools. Sales of inflatable sprinklers and water games have increased by 1,568%. Tesco is gearing to sell more than 9 million iced treats this week, as well as 900,000 packs of barbecue meat. Obviously, barbecue sales are going through the roof, anything for barbecues. John Lewis has reported that sales of fans were up 256%. Waitrose said sales of ice cream are up 20%. Lakeland said sales of a patio midge and mosquito repeller machine were up. So obviously people are being bitten to death as well. So everyone's going out. Everyone's it's like in the madness of it all. It's like, yeah, let's barbecue. It's terrible, isn't it? Zoe, pool parties and barbecues are my idea of how. The amount of barbecues when I was a drinker I used to go to, you'd go to we're having a barbecue, and you'd go to a barbecue. You'd always end up sitting there. I'd always bowl, because I was an alcoholic, I'd always have a few drinks before I got there, so I was a bit leery. And I'd be like, yeah, all right, and then quite quickly I'd end up sitting next to someone who I just didn't have anything in common with next to the barbecue. And the smell of just burnt meat. It was just, barbecues and, just find it, it's all just so hot and sweaty and all that kind of stuff. But I'm a miserable bastard, so there we go. So yeah, canned cocktails. People are buying lots of canned cocktails. That's the way to go. What's your favourite, not what's your favourite ice lolly, what's your favourite flavour of ice cream? There you go. Killer question for a fuck off Friday. Oh, raspberry, so I like, yeah. Take your barbecue and shove it up your spike, or spike your shove, yeah, whatever. I don't even like the food. I mean, Gordina and Nadia would shoot me. Fiona, Grocket, rum and raisin. Or pistachio. Who said pistachio? Yeah. Faith Goodman, absolutely. I love pistachio. Rhubarb panna cotta. Someone somewhere. Bloody hell. Where are you getting that from? Mint choc chip. Mint choc chip, says Ross. Mango Solero, says Hazel Malbon. Who remembers ice? What were they called? Choc ices. Do you remember choc ices? They used to just come in like cards of just in squares, and they with like bits on either side. What else have we got? Mango, vanilla, strawberry and chocolate, raspberry mojito, raspberry, coconut. Andrea Jenner. I don't think I've ever had a coconut ice cream. Solero, passion fruit mochi. Hayley Edwards, they're nice, those mochi, aren't they? They had them on a free offer at a cinema not that long ago, and Maddie got a couple, and it's like, bloody hell. Minky Moo, coffee, of course. I haven't had coffee ice cream in years. Mint never really does it. Lemon gelato, Melanie Williams. Ginger, Karen Rogers, crystallized ginger. Who wants ice cream now? Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Knobbly Bobbly, Ruth Blanford. I buy Knobbly Bobblies every now and then, because I know that they get left, one will get left at the bottom of the ice bucket, and then I grab it. Who likes the melted ice cream at the bottom of the freezer drawer because some idiot has left it open? Gianduka, what's that, Christos? I want some ice cream now. I want ice cream too. So yeah, you might wonder why Henry Hoover is in the title. This is kind of a bit weird. A former pastor, not as in, like spaghetti, a former pastor, or linguine or anything like that, 74, was sentenced after performing sex acts on a Henry Hoover in a church. It's a huge gear change from ice cream, I realise. I pulled this because I couldn't actually believe it. Believer? I'm a believer. He was a believer. someone at a church in Northampton was spotted in his chambers, naked with ladies' stockings on, having sex with Henry Hoover. The defence was that he was struggling with splitting up with his wife. I don't know whether Henry Hoover was a part of this, and was coming to terms with, I think, what was it? He was coming to terms with the loss of his wife and was suffering with diabetes that wasn't being controlled by medication. Melanie Williams, that was a whiplash gear change subject shift. Someone asking if it was Henry Hetty. I don't know. It's definitely a Henry Hoover. So, you know, those innocent games that you may have played when you were a child with a Hoover, don't do it when you're a grown-up. It's wrong. Another lurching handbrake turn. If you fancy a really, sometimes in this really hot weather, the best place to go is to an air-conditioned cinema. If you fancy a really silly film, me and Nanny Di did a review of a film called Brian and Charles. It's a charming, silly, quaint, classic British comedy. It's a bit Wallace and Gromit, it's a bit fun, it's a bit mad, it's a bit silly. There's that, you can go and see that, that would be fun. Another film that's released this weekend though is The Railway Children Return. And at first I saw, obviously we're going to be doing the weekly rushes, I saw this, Railway, yawn, yawn, yawn. And then I thought, well, hang on a minute. The Railway Children, could we be at the absolute right moment for something like this? Something that's an absolute cosy remake, a good old-fashioned movie. Linda Tyler off to see the new Railway Children shortly. So please, please, please return your thoughts and ideas and your opinions. It stars Sheridan Smith. It has Jenny Agutter, obviously, is back. She was in the original. I don't think there's any sort of, you know, when I say it returns, I don't think the train tears into town, crashes into the station, and there's a zombie apocalypse. I think there's something else. I also think it tries to rectify the sort of dated sort of political incorrectness of the original film. So kind of nice. I went from kind of a bit sort of po-face film sort of fan to no, actually that could be a really nice heartwarming thing. So there's a couple of heartwarming films out, and I think for this kind of weekend that's coming, either one of those films you do well to go and see and check out. Which brings us to Quiz of the Week. Quiz of the Week. Who wants Quiz of the Week? If you want Quiz of the Week, then join me, because we are now going to do Quiz of the Week, aren't we? Fuck off Friday. So you, Gigi, how does she do that? How does she do that? Okay, so here we go, guys. Quiz of the Week. It's Friday. It's Fuck Off Friday. Let's do it. Let's get all your answers up on the big screen. Let's do this thing. Quiz of the Week, question one. Question one, we're off. Staff at the National Galleries of Scotland discovered a hidden self-portrait of Vincent van Gogh. It was revealed by an X-ray of which other painting? So they X-rayed a painting to find a self-portrait of him, but what was the painting they X-rayed? Was it A, nude with a hat? Was it B, peach trees in blossom? Or was it C, the head of a peasant woman? There's a kind of clue in what they discovered in that one. I'll give you a bit of a steer. There's a clue in what they discovered. Behind which painting of these three paintings did they reveal an X-ray of another painting, a hidden self-portrait? Was it A, a nude with a hat, B, peach trees in blossom, or C, the head of a peasant woman? Lots of you saying C. Lots of you saying C. And indeed, it's C. Well done. Next question. Question two. Oh no, you're not going to believe this. It's cricket. Indian police arrested 4 men for staging what they said was a fake cricket tournament set up to allow gambling by a Russian internet audience. But which of the following was it said not to involve? A commentator mimicking a well-known Indian pundit. B, men hired to act as players for all 6 teams in the league. Or C, villagers paid to attend and provide crowd noises on cue. 2 of those did happen, 1 didn't. Which one didn't? Which of those? A, B, or C? Indian police arrested 4 men for staging a fake cricket tournament to allow a gambling audience from Russia. But which of the following was not involved in this con? A, a commentator mimicking a well-known Indian pundit. B, men hired to act as players for all 6 teams. Or C, villagers paid to attend and provide crowd noises on cue. I think, if you think, again, a little steer here, if you think of what would be the most difficult to orchestrate? Lots of you are saying A. Unfortunately, you're wrong. It's C, villagers paid to attend and provide crowd noises. Question three. UK government scientists said they could soon begin field trials to use oral contraceptives to control populations of which creatures? Who's been watching Coffee Moaning this week? I knew this story was important. UK government scientists said they could soon begin field trials to use oral contraceptives to control which creatures? A, grey squirrels, B, midges, or C, violet sea snails. The violet sea snails, by the way, were discovered on the Isles of Scilly. Rather beautiful things they were too. I think you all know that one, don't you? And if you don't, then you can stand outside in the corridor and wait until Miss Sawalha comes down from her office. Of course it is. It is. You are all absolutely right. And for those of you watching in catch-up, you're probably answering now, and you're about to find out that it is not Corabelle violet sea snails, but grey squirrels. Question 4. Composer Monty Norman, whose works include the James Bond theme, died at the age of 94. Norman had adapted the 007 music from a previous song played on which instrument? A, a banjo, B, a mandolin, or C, a sitar? I didn't know this one. Composer Monty Norman, who created the James Bond theme, died at the age of 94. He adapted the music from a previous song played by which instrument? A, banjo, B, mandolin, Christos in there, C, sitar. Ding 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 ding. Friday, fuck off Friday. It's C, sitar. Question 5. Novak Djokovic won his 7th Wimbledon title and 21st Grand Slam singles tournament, but how did beaten finalist Nick, I can't pronounce his surname, Kyrgios, describe finishing as runner-up? A, dumb, B, nuts, or C, ridiculous? Very generous-spirited chap. How did Kyrgios, how do you pronounce that? Kyrgios, I know someone told me, but I've forgotten. Did he describe it as A, dumb, B, nuts, C, ridiculous? Hydrate today, guys. C, ridiculous. Okay, who's got 5 out of 7? How are you all doing? Anyone got 5 out of 7? Give us your scores before we enter the final hurdle, last 2. Final hurdle is the final countdown. It's the final. Kyrios. Thank you, Christos. Kyrios. 4, 3, Fiona Crocker 4, Sony Me 4, Jane Taylor 4. Breathe. 3, 4, Sarah Fox 4, Helen Christine Bett 4, Jordan O'Sullivan 3, Angela Thompson 4, Sean Thomas 5. Good God. Question 6. Scientists revealed a new type of dinosaur with tiny arms for its size. The 2-foot limbs were only half as long as which other body part? A, its foot, B, its skull, or C, its thigh? Scientists revealed a new type of dinosaur with tiny arms. The limbs were only half as long as which other body part? Its foot, its skull, or its thighs? A, B, or C? I thought they had small arms so that they wouldn't get bitten off when they were all in the melee of eating stuff together, you know, and they were all in there kind of tearing stuff out. But then you'd get frustrated, wouldn't you? Because you'd be like, I want that bit for me. Imagine having your head in a KFC family bucket with small T-Rex arms. That's the most frustrating thing in the world, isn't it? There's an image to conjure with a T-Rex in a KFC bucket. The answer is B, skull, not C. I thought thigh. I went for thigh, thinking it was the long bone. And final question. See if you can get 7 out of 7, guys. 3 men were charged with plotting to sell Don Henley's handwritten lyrics from the Eagles album Hotel California, knowing they had been stolen. But who was originally said to have taken them? So who originally took Don Henley's handwritten lyrics for the album Hotel California? Was it A, an author hired to write a biography of the band, B, an unnamed groupie, or C, a record company employee? Which of those essentially is said to have taken the handwritten lyrics for the Eagles album Hotel California? Was it A, an author hired to write a biography of the band, B, an unnamed groupie, or C, a record company employee? Christos going for A, Jordan, Sonia, Pauline, Jane, all going for C, Clodagh Egan going for C, Christine Beck going for C, a record company employee. Good Chip Lollipop, it's only me, and Sean Thomas all going for A, an author. The correct answer is an author. You're absolutely right. Who got 7 out of 7? Did anyone get 7 out of 7? Come on, be honest. Did anyone? Friday. Did anyone get 7 out of 7? I want to know. 5, Russ. Nicole, 4. Hazel, 2. It's only me, 5. Minky Moo, 4. Lou, 1 or Katie, 3. Don't know. 6 out of 7. Best score. Yeah, good job, Lollipop. You are. That's much better. That's much better. Linda Tyler, 2. Okay, you know. Christine, Bet, 6. There's always next week. 4. Sarah Fox crashed at the end. 5. Holly McCready. Sean Thomas got 7. Sean Thomas, congratulations. Well done. 7 out of 7. Wow. Chantel Atkinson, 3. Good on you. Guys, have a lovely, lovely Friday. Something will be landing. In fact, I think it's a chaotic cook is going to be landing later, and it is bloody chaotic, I tell you. So lots of love, guys. Have a lovely Friday. Stay hydrated. And remember, if you're in London, Refill app, and remember those stores, I think Costa, Greggs, and somewhere else, where you can get free water. All right, guys, have a lovely day.